Please state your name, age, and where you live.
But you already know all this.
Just do it.
Yes, sir, I'm sorry.
And cut the act.
Tori Brennan, 14, Morris Island, South Carolina.
I need you to describe me in detail all the events that happened in the past week, from the beginning.
It's okay. You could tell him everything. Except for the fact that you and your friends are half wolf, half human. Oh, and also that we could read each other's minds when we want to.
Alright, here's the truth. It all started when my friend Hyde became obsessed with this dumb game called geocaching. You know, that game where
We know what it is. Just get on with your story.
She's okay. The first cache we found was this weird Japanese box thing, and we were determined to get inside of it, so of course we did.
What did you do after that?
Well, if you give me a second, I was about to tell you.
Miss Brennan.
Sorry. The box contained another puzzle. It ended up being coordinates, which had been solved, and it took us to the Mountain Picnic Capital War Monument ruin thing. And inside was an iPad with another puzzle saying that we had to play the game or people would die. Then a bomb blew up in the park, and then another one blew up in the building we were in, and it hurt my dog Coop. But other than that, nobody got hurt.
Alright, what's next?
The next clue ended up taking us to this golf course, and the clue was buried like under the hole, but we got it.
Alright.
And a tripwire was triggered, and a gun shot at us. It missed us, but it hit my backpack.
Using my hypersenses to feel the tripwire trigger, and then dive tackle Shelton so he didn't get hit by the bullet.
You know, this is almost all illegal.
Would you rather hundreds of people die? His rules were clear. Do not tell anyone, especially the cops. No extra help. If you do, hundreds of people would die. He had bombs rigged up everywhere.
I didn't even bring up how he had to grave rob a dead body.
It's not like we really had a choice.
Don't do that.
Yes, sir. Anyway, the last clue was using everything that we had before, and the cotillion was the final destination. After participating in the cotillion, we found the room, and we got locked in and barely could escape with seconds left to live. But we broke the rules. We told 2 people, even though we didn't even mean to. But then we had a choice, to kill everyone in the cotillion with a poisonous gas, or to sacrifice ourselves. But we escaped, and nobody got hurt.
How did you escape this?
We used our wolf strength to pry the bars open and lift it up, something that no other human could do.
We just knocked the gate loose.
It was steel and bolted on.
Faulty bolts?
Now tell me about the ending. You fought this game master, aka murderer, in the middle of a hurricane?
Well, you see, there's this hurricane.
A Category 4 hurricane that you were walking in.
Yeah, so we went to the bad guy's house, and he trapped us in, and then it kind of blew up. And then we ran after him, and he shot at us more. And then...
You just... in a hurricane? I have a hard time believing that.
Well, you best believe it, because anyone you ask will say the same thing, and that's the end of my story.
Anything else?
Oh yeah, and you'll never guess who helped him plan this game. The title of this book is called Viral's Code. Virals is actually a larger series, and Code is the specific book. The author is Kathy Reichs with help from Brandon Reichs. The genre has many different elements. There's some aspects of science fiction and mystery, but most importantly is fantasy fiction, mainly because of the canine DNA. The setting takes place in South Carolina, specifically on Morris Island, somewhere in the 2010s. There is a significance to this time period. Since it takes place in the 21st century, there's a lot of technology that's being used. And this is how they have their canine DNA, because of the advanced technology. There's several different themes, including bravery, standing up for what you believe in, and the power of friendship. Every single one of the virals had to be brave, fighting this evil game master. They also had to stand up for what they believed in. Instead of sacrificing everybody in the community, they were sacrificing themselves, and they stood up for what they believed in, because they believed that this game master should be put down. The power of friendship is also important, because without the friends, they would not be as strong as they are. The publishing company is Puffin Books, and the copyright date is 2013. The book is ordered chronologically. The readability is for 10 to 15-year-olds, grades 5 through 9, but I believe it should be for older people, mainly because of the language. It can be difficult to understand. The tone is pressured, worried, yet optimistic. They are pressured to complete each mission before the time runs out. They're also worried because people could die. But they had to stay optimistic. Without this, they wouldn't have gotten anything accomplished. The content includes some intense scenes, but there's nothing that's too scary. And there's nothing that's really inappropriate either. The title has significance. Virals describes what they are, and code is based on what the topic of the book is. The virals must complete puzzles and codes. The diction is more complicated as it has larger words. There's also slang and some modern language. The point of view is first-person omniscient, mainly told by the main character, Tori. There are several literary techniques, including imagery, onomatopoeia, and allusions. There's imagery because everything is very descriptive, from what the characters look like to what the setting is. There's a lot of detail. There's onomatopoeia because in some chapters, like when the gun goes off, it says bang. There's also an allusion in the book, if you know a little bit more about it. It references Tori's Aunt Temp, who is big in forensics. She has her own series for adults, and there's even a TV show made out of it called Bones.
And lastly, do I recommend the book? Yes, 100% I recommend the book. Although I do suggest starting with book number 1 because this was the 3rd book in the series. And I think I read the entire series in one summer, and there's a handful of books in it. But it was just so captivating. Every single chapter left you on a cliffhanger. I learned so much. It was so relatable. Just go read it. It was really good.